How you doing, everybody? It's Monday, it's the 11th of June 2012. Beautiful day here, the sun's beaming down here in Ireland, and I hope it's like that where you are. I normally don't do this, but I just want to dedicate this video to two groups, well, one person and another group. And the group I want to dedicate it to are a group called the Irish Survivors of Child Abuse. I'll explain to you why I want to do this in a minute or two. And the other person that I want to dedicate it to is a woman who's she's an ex-ombudsman from the north of Ireland, a lady called NUALA. And she wrote an article in Saturday's Irish Times, and I put a link to the article there if you want to have a look at it. And all that happened is she went from 7 or 8, in my estimation, down to 1 after reading this article. And she's obviously just a right-wing Catholic, but Roman Catholic. But anyway, you know, I get lambasted right, left and centre by people who know me and people who don't know me when they, especially if they've, because I've done hundreds of these videos over the years. Like, I've done these videos now since 2008, 2007, 2008. I've covered lots of them about the Catholic Church and about its whole history and everything else. And people say, why do you go on about this? And what is, don't understand this, like, you know what I mean? And it's very, very simple. I'll try and make it as simple as I can. And the other thing I just want to say is, listen, when I sit down here to have a chat with you about these videos, I don't have anything written out. Like I wrote that down because I didn't know the name of these people, these child abuse people. But like when I sit down to, like, I don't have any, I don't read off anything, or I don't have any cues. This just all comes out of me. So lots of times it's a bit disjointed. So just please bear with me. All I want to tell you is there's a war going on for your mind. There's a war going on for everybody's mind at the moment, and it's always been that way. And it's conducted by men called propagandists. That's what I am, on a mini scale. I'm a mini propagandist, and I admit to it. The difference between me and these other boys is they'd never admit to that. But I hold my hand up. I am a propagandist. That's what I am. And the only bit of propaganda that I want to get across to you, the people that watch these videos, put out by me, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm not asking you to support any political party. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just asking you to do one thing. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Listen to as many radio channels and as many TV channels. If you want to do that, read newspapers, read books. Think for yourself. Just don't be turning on your local TV or radio station and thinking that that's the truth. That's propaganda. That's all propaganda. And this week, the Roman Catholic Church in Ireland is enacting out a large piece of its own propaganda. It's called a Eucharistic Congress. They had the last one seemingly in, I think it was 1932, and they're having this one now. Okay? That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, they're holding this thing, and the whole reason for this is they've flown in papal nuncios from all over the world, and archbishops and cardinals, but one man will be two men will be missing. The little Nazi Pope won't be there, and our man, Cardinal BRADY, he won't be there. And the reason this PR stunt is going on, and that's what it is, a PR stunt, the propaganda stunt by these people, is because they've taken a massive battering, a psychological battering, over the last couple of years because of the various reports on child abuse and all the rest of it, which are really only the tip of the iceberg. Okay? But I want to talk about this man, BRADY, because I think it's important. He is the head of the Roman Catholic Church in Ireland. He's a cardinal. He's a prince of the church. Okay? Now, just to paint the picture, I have to paint the picture of him very, very quickly. This man has a primary degree in ancient classics. He got that out of Maynooth, I think, because they hand them out up there, okay? It's about 10 mile or 15 mile from where I am here. Anyway, so he has a primary degree in classics, so he knows all about Latin, Greek, about ancient history. He knows all about the developments of society. He knows all about law, the fundamentals of law and everything else, all right? So he knows all about civil authority and its responsibilities and the relationship between the state and the people. And he knows all that stuff, right? And then his secondary degree is he has a doctorate in canon law. So he knows all about civil law, and now he has a doctorate in canon law, church law. Okay. And in 1975, he was brought into a room where two boys had made a complaint against a man called Brendan Smith, a priest out of the Norbertine order. 1975, okay? He was a young whiz kid in the church at the time. He was a senior canon lawyer in that particular area, from what I can make out. And the bishop who was in charge of that particular diocese sent him in with other priests, and the very first thing they did was they signed these two boys, got these two boys to sign an oath of silence, a vow of silence, that they wouldn't repeat what they'd heard, what was spoken about, or anything else within that room ever again. So what they did was, under civil law, is they entered into a conspiracy. That's what they did. All the men, because these boys were underage. That's the other thing I didn't tell you. These boys were either 14 or 15. And they coerced them into silence about major crimes which had been committed against them, the boys. They'd been raped by this fellow Smith. Sodomized. Now what happened was, that was in 1975. Now, this happened, I think this happened in the north of Ireland. I'm not too sure. I think this happened in the north of Ireland, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it happened. Because it's part of the civil code. If you know that a crime has been committed or is about to be committed, a serious crime against the person or against property, and you don't report that matter to the civil authorities, then you are participating in that crime. You are perverting the course of justice. That's what it is. That's what you do. You pervert the course of justice. And it is a very serious charge. You are as guilty in remaining silent as the person who commits the offence, because you haven't brought it into the public domain. And that's what he did in that room. He silenced the two boys. Do you know what this man's motto is? His personal motto? To know Jesus Christ. I want to ask just one question of Cardinal Sean BRADY. Where was the Nazarene that day you were in the room? Was the Nazarene standing with you, or was he standing with the two boys? That's all I want to know. Was the Nazarene standing beside you when you silenced the two boys, or was he standing beside the two boys? That's the only question you have to ask. You're a fugitive from moral justice. That's what you are. And if I met a blind dog in the street here in Dublin, if I met a blind dog in the street and he could just about talk, and I held a microphone up to his face and said to him, listen, could you tell me something, and I explained to him what happened, the blind dog would know what to do. But you're a man with 2 degrees and you don't know what to do. You're a disgrace. That's what you are. You're a disgrace, but you're a reflection of this whole society that I live in. You're a reflection of this whole society. And at its top, it's rotten. It's completely and utterly rotten. We've had a series of leaders of this society. Charlie Haughey, Bertie Ahern. These are all criminals. These people are all criminals. We've had to have tribunals to investigate their goings on, to bring it to light. We had to have a tribunal, another tribunal called the Ryan Tribunal, to bring this business to light, where it involved you and your acolytes, your bishops, and your senior priests within Ireland. Anybody would know what to do, but you don't know. You obviously don't know. But you have 2 degrees. You have a doctorate in canon law and a primary degree in classics, and you don't know the difference between right and wrong. As I often say to people about the law, people eulogise to me about the law and how like sacrosanct it is. And I often say to people, I often put it up to people, tell me something. Tell me 5 people, just 5 wealthy people that you know that are in the pokey Joe at the moment. 5 people. Just 5. That's all you have to do. And I'll give you a substantial amount of money. I'll give you a substantial amount of money if you tell me 5 people who are in Irish prisons at the moment who are from the elite class, the ruling class in Ireland. You can't tell me that. There are thousands of fucking other Joes. They're in there for not paying their TV licence. Here's a boy went into a room with children and forced them to, essentially coerced them into signing a vow of silence and perverted the course of justice, and nothing happens to him. Do you know what happened if I did that? Do you know what happened if you did that? Do you know what happened if any other person did that? Didn't have his connections? You'd be arrested the next morning and you'd do about 5 years. Because to hang you out to dry, show you as a good example. Well, you see what happens. And especially if it was a crime against property. When it's a crime against a person, they don't give a monkeys. Do you know who are all these young children who were sodomized and raped and all that? This was a class war that went on. They were from the working class and from the underclass, the underprivileged classes. None of them were from the middle class or from the elite class. Oh no. Oh no. Now I've said my little bit. It's rather simple. As I said before, the crime is not and was never the raping of the children. That's a crime. I know it's a desperate crime, but sexual crimes go on every day of the week. I'm not condoning it. The real crime was a cover-up. And the further it went up as far as cardinals to the Pope. This little Pope ran the modern day Inquisition before he became Pope. He knew all about it. He knows all about what's going on across the world. What goes on every day in Brazil, in Africa, in the Far East. You name it, he knows it. That's why he's not coming to Ireland. Just like his buddy with the red cap here, he's a fugitive from moral justice too. But you know what? At the end of the day, they'll all have to reconcile it some way. It'll be reconciled some way. I don't know how it's going to be reconciled, but it will be. Maybe it may be reconciled when they die. Maybe. I don't know. Nobody knows. We'll talk more.